So greetings to you. I'll change the tomorrow, but this helps with the lights for now. As you know, I'm still busy with some treatment with one of my eyes, and it ain't cheap. So I have to take precautions. I have to follow the recommendations from the specialist and things like that. Hence, I change glasses from time to time. But in the near future, I will not have the need to have a sunshades in my home studio. I hope you had a great weekend, especially for those persons who are on the ground in Guyana. Those lovely, lovely, hardworking, patriotic, law-abiding citizens of Guyana. I prayed for you. I spent the weekend. I fasted, and I don't usually do it. I fasted Saturday and Sunday, and I prayed to the universe to deliver Guyanese, from the claws of quote unquote the most corrupt president in Guyana's history. Irfan Ali, you made me have to apologize to Forbes Burnham. I have to call you, Ali, the Demon King. You deserve that title, Irfan Ali. I got to apologize to Burnham. You are by far President Ali. President Ali, you are by far the best at being corrupt. The best corrupt president in Guyana's past, present, and future history. And for that, shame on you. You weren't raised like that. Your father is a good man, a disciplinarian. What corrupted you? The fact that you got an opportunity to see what $1 billion is like. You saw it, you felt it, and you realized that shit, this feels good. And I'm the president. I can do whatever I want. Not even Jadgeo can stop me. After all, I am the president. Yes, idiot, you are. You are the president. Thanks to me. Yeah. Thanks to me. Oh, I'm not the only one. But I'm taking credit for making your corrupt ass president the second time. You see, the first time, I'm now convinced. The first time, America helped. It is my opinion. International pressure for the shit that you're doing right now, and you have done in the first term, the way you have sold out Guyana to the oil companies in the first term. Now I have to believe that the first elections, 2020, was in fact stolen. Was in fact stolen. You didn't win it. Now I have to believe that. Because the man you have become, the way you have become, and the fact that you are this almighty Ali, untouchable, unapologetic, it means that you still think you have some kind of invisible emperor supernatural covering that helped you to got the elections 2020. We'll see. Or we'll see. You see the fact that I'm saying I helped merits on what I've said before. Now I can take the position that it was a conspiracy for you to have gotten the presidency in 2020. A conspiracy that is not has no bearing on facts, just international pressure, threats, hijacking the elections that have resulted in Granger conceding because of international pressure. But the facts on the ground stipulates that you probably didn't win it. Hence, we could have gotten a second term of Granger, a second term. But 2025, the win had to be so significant and so wide that no questions would be asked. No questions. 6 seats majority, of which I helped to get you that 6 seats majority. I helped. Welcome to the Uncensored Guyana Show. I am Dr. L. Prasad. Yes, President Ali, your brother didn't help. Your uncle didn't help. Jadgeo definitely didn't help. Indar didn't help. Not even Jadgeo didn't help. It's people like me that lied, manipulated, hypnotized, deceived my people, believing that you will continue on the fluke win you had in 2020, you will continue to usurp that opportunity that, hey, I won by a mistake. Let me build on that, not to give the Guyana'S a reason to regret giving me an extensive win in 2025. You did the opposite. You made a reverse, a U-turn. And what do we get? What do we get in 2026? Jadgeo introduced a word in 2017 in the National Assembly. And that word is coconomics. The word that Jadgeo introduced is coconomics. Yeah, I have the correct word there. Coconomics. And what it actually means as he defined, Jadgeo was trying to humiliate and embarrass David Granger when the budget 2070 was being read. Jadgeo said, oh, there's a word floating around. It's called coconomics, which actually means how low can you go? In other words, you treat Guyanese how you value them. And the quality of care you extend to Guyanese depends on how you see them. So he was telling the Granger government, the fact that the Granger government was taxing and not building this and all these alleged corruptions, and they're giving Guyanese 2%, 3%, it meant that Granger and his administration saw Guyanese like gutter rats. He couldn't go lower than that. It's like how the elite see poor people. How the light-skinned people see the dark-skinned people. How the white man allegedly sees the black man. Allegedly. Because I don't believe it. But just for the want of a point, you, Jadgeo, accused Granger of caconomics. Skunt, connomics. Means you're conning the people about the economics. What the fuck you doing now, Jadgeo? What is Ali doing now? What do we call what Ali is doing? Zombie economics? Voodoo economics? Ghetto economics? Cow shit economics? How can we describe what Ali is doing to Guyanese? How? At least you found a decent word to use against Granger. Economics. We can't use that word against Ali. Oh, he's way lower, way fucking lower. That is, Ali has taken it beyond the legal limit. You know, when you have an employee, the law permits you to pay them up to a certain level, minimum. If you go beyond that, you're China. Welcome to China. So Irfan Ali has transformed Guyanese, Indian and black and Amerindian and so on to China. Ali is now she, an image of she, but not the good version. The worst part is she, because the Chinese president, there's no alleged corruption where he's concerned. But with Irfan Ali and how he's treating the Guyanese, our Guyanese brothers and sisters, oh, that's worse than being a Chinese product. I mean, seriously, man. That is abuse. That is human abuse. That is humanitarian abuse. That should be against the laws of nature. Where is the red thread? Where is the humanitarian agencies in Guyana? Where are they? They're on the ground, they have their offices there, and they see how this lunatic is treating his people. Everybody's seeing. All these reports you're getting from other countries, you can pay for that, like I said before. You can pay for some Reuters to write something, some agency to do something, some pundits online from another country, Trinidad or Jamaica Gleaner, to say some shit. After all, you're giving them 300 houses. What you think the Prime Minister of Jamaica will do? Tell the official paper there, print something nice about Ali. You're giving him 300 houses. Are we going to check up to see if they actually build it? If they use the money you're giving Ali to build the houses? Are you actually giving 300 or 150? Because when it comes to you now, Sir Ali, we can't believe shit you say. I mean, you're the first Muslim I know that lies that much, and you're cussing Muhammad? Really? I said before that Azrini Muhammad could have only become a billionaire by lying and cheating. By lying and cheating, and as the Americans said, corrupting government officials, that's how he was able to achieve his billions. What about you, Ali? How have you been able to achieve your billions? Besides the fact that your brother, another lunatic, who was living on the Canadian welfare system and free healthcare, can overnight, from 2023 to now, earned in contracts 12 billion Guyana dollars. Look, I have friends, personal friends. Okay? I have an individual right now who's like an older brother to me. I know how he personally slaved behind the PPP. Used his own resources to help these motherfuckers. He has always been hustling with everything. He has a contracting firm. This brother of mine, has a contracting firm for years. He ain't started it when Ali became president. He had it for years. And he goes through the normal channels. But look, like every other person who support the party of their choice, he supported the PPP for re-elections. Use his resources to help these motherfuckers. If I can say that that relative of mine received in the 6 years from 2020 when Ali became president to now, 2026, if I can say as a matter of fact that that relative, or he's Indo-Guyanese too, he ain't black, he's Indian, that relative of mine received 20 million Guyana dollars in contracts in 6 years, I'll be lying. I would be lying if I said he received that much. And he is one of the persons who I personally know invested his time and resources to help these greedy, corrupt motherfuckers. And all they could have compensated him with some subcontracts. Subcontracts. And despite I knew that, I never called them out for it. I never called any minister or any government official and say, hey, what the fuck you doing? This is a legitimate contractor who has paid his taxes, who's helping, and he helped you. You people know, Ali know he helped. Jadgeo know he helped. And you're treating him like this? Just giving him some shitty contracts in 6 years, totaling 20 million Guyana dollars? I could have called them out years ago. I could have boycotted supporting Ali for his re-election. Like I said before, my position premises on the fact that they sacrificed over 100 Guyanese souls. That was my breaking point, my turning point. MV Barima tragedy. That did it for me. Nothing else. And when the veil was removed, then I realized what a grave mistake I made in helping this selfish bastard to win again. What a grave mistake I made. And every day, I will let you know that I've regretted that mistake. I've regretted it. So if you think this is about something else, no, it's not. People that concerned me were discriminated, are being discriminated by Ali and his gang of thieves. They have been and are being discriminated against. And these are not Afro-Guyanese, these are Indo-Guyanese. Indo-Guyanese. They complain to me. They tell me these things. But never once did I call out Ali and his for this. Never did I. So don't accuse me of shit. I took a lot for these fuckers. A lot I took for these fuckers. Jadgeo and your caconomics. The only caconomics bar Jadgeo is the man you push on Guyanese, you're forced on Guyanese to become president. You are so certain you can control the little boy, because them other folks that are older than you, you know you can't control them. You can't control Anil, you can't control anybody else. You thought you could control the little boy that you raised. You were wrong. Because that boy became a man, and a very greedy, selfish man, that even you, Bar Jadgeo, makes you look stupid, and they say you are corrupt. They said Jadgeo was corrupt. Well, who's the one now? Who's the big boss of corruption now? Let's get into it. Oh, that was a warm-up. Well, you think we've been there? No, we're not. Let's deal with the GPL. El Nino. These folks know the time. I'm on my show and they're still. Let's get to the El Nino guy. The criminal who should have been behind bars. Indar. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Guyanese, pretend for a moment that we're all idiots. We are so stupid that we are beyond the capacity to reason things. The People's Progressive Party parliamentarians, the gang of criminals, disrupted almost every parliamentary assembly under Granger. They were so blackguarding and ghetto and low life that when you watch them in the parliament, a bunch of scums, every sitting, literally every sitting, they disrupted. And one of the key points they disrupted the Granger government was over GPL. The blackouts, the continued blackouts. That was one of their championing points that they got Guyanese hooked on. But it didn't cause Guyanese to vote for them in 2020. Because you see, President Irfan Ali, you would know, and I would know, and every other Guyanese would know, that we were born into blackouts. We grew up into blackouts. We know about the lamp, the what do you call the thing? You put some oil in the bottle, you put a piece of cloth. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. We would know about those things. Jadgeo was president, and you had blackouts almost every day, the whole country. Ramatar was president, and you had blackouts every day, the whole country. Granger took over, and blackouts continued. Now, Irfan Ali, you know how bad blackouts were to school children, to parents, to businesses. You know that because you grew up in the West Coast. You understood. You all understood, especially Indar, especially the poor kid turned rich, Indar. You would know much more about blackouts than anybody else. And in 2026, these motherfuckers, this pissant Indar, this pea-brain motherfucker Indar, who happened to be the head of GPL because he's the Minister of Utilities. Ali became president in 2020. You start spending oil money from when? Since you became president. The best they could have done to curb the blackout was to get power barge, all the way from Africa to lend power to GPL at 40 million a month. With all the promises they have made, they sold this thing so good. It's going to help to alleviate the power issue. Well, Guyana is growing. There's more demand for power. That's the excuse they keep using. 2026, August 2026, under this lunatic, this impotent, low-life minister Indar, who should be in fucking prison right now. The excuse that he is going to bring to the cockroach nation, because the shit they're telling you the shit they're telling us. They see us as cockroaches because Indar has massive generators at his houses. Ali has, Jadgeo has, all these big boys, they have generators at their houses. Some of them have solar. So they're not affected with the blackouts. But the best excuse this loser can bring is El Nino. El fucking Nino. Is it the first year we're having warm weather? Since I'm a kid, man. Since I'm a kid, Guyana is a tropical country. You fools. Since I'm a kid, we have warm weather. We have hot weather. Since I'm a boy. We had it last year, the year before that, 2020, during COVID, 2019, the 5 years of Granger, the 5 years of Ramatar, the 10 years of Jadgeo. We had warm weather around July, fucking August, September, October. It's a normal thing. Idiots. We had it forever. And you still think Guyanese are so delusional, so absent-minded, that they forgot the same excuse you had last year and the year before? El Nino. So due to that, turn off the lights when you don't need to use it. Use less this and use less that because there's too much pressure on the grid. So because of that, they can't fix the electricity problem. Because of that, they're still linking your hopes to the gas to energy project being completed, hopefully by year's end. And by the time that is completed, some relief might come to Guyanese on the electricity supply by mid-2027, if it actually comes to pass. So by the end of 2027, around this time, they can't come with that excuse again, El Nino. But Indar told the stupid nation, don't complain, just turn your lights off. Turn your lights down low so you wouldn't contribute to the GPL problem. Go outside and enjoy the sun. Not be inside. No, 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 no. Yes, Indar. So Guyanese, cuss this man when you see him. Turn your backs on him when you see him. Tell him, please, man, we didn't make you minister. Your corrupt president did. So if you're speaking on his behalf and he's telling you to lie to Guyanese, to continue to lie to Guyanese, take the message back to him that we get it. We made the mistake and we shall correct it. And we shall start correcting it in the next elections. If local government elections come and no false flagging come to fuck it up, if it happens, tell Ali that we'll teach him a lesson at the next elections of things to come, 2029. But for now, we don't want any more excuses about GPL because all of you in the parliament, in the Ali's cabinet, you're not affected with blackouts. You have generators. You have special lines from GPL that is never disturbed. Never disturbed. Because understand, not the whole country gets blackouts when blackouts happen. There are certain areas, there are certain buildings that never experiences blackout, regardless. Never experiences blackout, regardless. And those kind of power lines, most of the elite politicians in Guyana, their homes are connected to those lines. So they don't ever get blackout, regardless. Tell them we know. Since they didn't know El Nino was coming, hence they were not prepared for it. They made no preparations for it. They made no upgrades to the system for it. They're blaming the poles, the lines, and they're there for 6 years. They could have built a bridge for billions of Guyana dollars. They could have built a bridge for billions, and they could have installed brand new lights and brand new poles and brand new everything for that bridge, which took 2 years. Everything is perfect. But a country that for decades have experienced blackout every day for decades, for over 30 plus or longer than that years. And all this time, they can't upgrade the system. They can't. Now you have the Attorney General's brother running GPL. Indar finished fucking up Transport and Harbor Department. He's going now to GPL and he fucked it up too. And you expect to get a relief with a supply of electricity from these lunatics? You should have heard them in the parliament when APNU was there. They're cussing the government, saying the government can't fix the blackout problem. They had all these recommendations. The PPP knew what they needed to do because they were challenging Granger. They had so many press conferences. The government can do this to help the people with blackout. The government can do this. The government can do that. But Ramatar didn't do it. Jadgeo's 10 years in office didn't do it. But PNC 5 years, the PPP had a plan, but they never implemented it in the 15 plus years or longer that they control the country and the resources and the government. Now they came back in 2020. From 2020 to 2026, the only plan they had was gas to energy project and power barge. And since the gas to energy project can't finish, they got the power barge. And where do we stand? Still blackouts. That's what we have to deal with. That's our legacy. So folks, it wouldn't get better. Now it's El Nino. When a rainy season starts, blame the rain. Yeah, blame the rain. The place is cold, so people need to turn their heats up. Turn the air code to heating, so it pull more electricity. Either way, they'll find an excuse. Look, I'm serious when I said I spend the weekend fasting and meditating. I'm serious. I did. It's no joke. Because looking at the situation in Guyana, when we take into consideration, it's being done in the open air. They don't care anymore. President Ali, he doesn't give a shit anymore. In his mind, look, I got 4 more years. I'll enjoy it financially. I'll take as much as I can and just get my little runners and hustlers to come on social media and get in the news and make some story up, make some excuses up and lie and divert attention and all that while I can stay there and do my shit and cover my ass. I'm going to do that. But the rest of us, Guyanese, when we're looking on, not from a distance, we're under the same roof, the same flag, and you are seeing to yourself. When I remarked the other day that they may give out 10,000 contracts to small contractors, And these small contractors, including my Indo-Guyanese relative, that contract may last 3 months for 5 million. The profit he gets, he might as well just get a government job and earn a salary. Hopefully it's more than 100,000, and he can clear more profit than taking these stupid contracts from the government just to shut up poor people, while the mass chunk of the budget goes to Ali's brother, goes to Ali's friends, goes to Ali's relatives. How is that fair? You send your children to school to study engineering, civil contraction, civil construction. They go to GTI to become technical engineers. They start a small business. These are people, Guyanese people, who invested their talent, their time, and their money into building themselves into a career as being a civil engineer, a civil contractor, and all these kinds of stuff, only to get a low quality job with some contractor like Ali's brother and their fake firm, with a pay that is a little bit over 100,000 Guyana dollars a month. How is that fair? And this is not just discriminating against black people. I want to make this clear. President Irfan Ali and his team, that's all that matters to them. They don't care about the supporters of the PPP. One of the things I can go on record as, I've been calling out the Irfan Ali government from the beginning of how they discriminated against the Indo-Guyanese in Guyana. I'm one of the persons who keep telling them they've done that. And I wasn't just doing it because of some idle thought. It is a fact. It is a fact. Because even the core supporters of the PPP, Berbice, Essequibo, and all these places, amongst them, look who are getting the massive contracts from the government. People who are not subscribing to the PPP. Business people who are connected by blood. And a large percentage of them are not even Guyanese. The core supporters of the PPP in Berbice and Essequibo, they're not getting anything. They get some cash handouts from time to time to help with the farming and help with this and help with that, but no contracts. The shitty contracts they're getting is 10 million, 20 million. And that's 1 in 5 years. When you have the president's brother, who hasn't even paid taxes in Guyana, who lived in Canada as a factory worker, can return to Guyana because his brother is president, and according to the facts presented by the opposition leader, within 5 days he secured billions in contracts. Within 5 days, and contractors in Guyana who has been on the ground and has their businesses for years were sidelined, were pushed out. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, out of the 10 contractors to which Ali's brother secured a contract, 7 are Indo-Guyanese. 7 are Indo-Guyanese. So this isn't a racist thing. This is an evil thing. If it was a fact where you say only Indo-Guyanese contractors are getting the contracts, well, that's another fact to prove. But they're not getting. Not even the Indo-Guyanese are getting anything from Ali. You might see an Indo-Guyanese at the top. That's not a voter. It's not a PPP supporter. It's a cousin. a brother, an uncle, a nephew, an in-law of the president. That's who he is, not a random person. There are no coincidences when it comes to Irfan Ali. Say what you want about Jadgeo, but as my memory serves me right and the fact serves me right, the people who used to benefit a lot from the Jadgeo government were black people. Courtney Ben construction firm. A lot of black companies benefited from Jadgeo. And the PNC sidelined them because the PNC thought, no, you're a Jadgeo guy. We can't give you contracts. But in Irfan Ali, no black, no Indian. Who are getting? Canadian, Americans, who might be Guyanese, but they left the country. And Ali called them back to say, hey, well, I got to find somebody I can trust because I need all that money. And what are these people doing? Indo-Guyanese. What are these people doing that Ali is giving the large percentage of your money, of our money? What are they doing? From the 38 Indian nationals to the people who work for Ali's brother, the Bangladeshi. Why not hire Guyanese? Even if you hire Indo-Guyanese, Indo-Guyanese are Guyanese. But they're not hiring Indo-Guyanese. They're only hiring the blacks for security and janitorial work. Their staff are from other countries. Their staff are from other countries. This is the man who says one Guyana. When his brother is hiring people who are not Guyanese citizens, it ain't because they're going to pay them low. It's because they are just disrespectful. And the fact that my brother is president, or my nephew is president, my uncle is president, nobody else can say shit, not even Jadgeo. And I keep bringing Jadgeo into this because why? People are labeling Jadgeo to whatever corruption. Look, use your platform, do whatever the fuck you want. My reason for blaming this on Jadgeo is because there were more competent, trustworthy people in the PPP that could have taken that role more. But Jadgeo thought, not a kingmaker, but he thought he's a good judge of character. He didn't pick Ramatar. The party Congress picked Ramatar. But Jadgeo picked Ali. It's an experiment went wrong. So Jadgeo, this is on you. Now the man is rogue. He's a rogue agent now. Welcome to China. Ali has converted Guyana into a Chinese territory. Why? Because he don't trust his own people. Because he knows, Guyanese know, what a hypocrite he is. So now the Chinese, they just want to cut. They don't care about your politics. So getting the Chinese to all these shell companies to milk the Guyanese money, they don't care. But we care. And because we care, we need to stand up and put an end to this. Or else we have 4 more years for Ali to become a trillionaire. He has his hand in everything. Everything. There is no major contract being given out in Guyana that Ali has not personally signed off on. There is none. So when you see you're there as a contractor and you're not being recognized for anything above 100 million, is because that's where they think you belong, below that grade. It doesn't matter about your ability to deliver. It doesn't matter if your certificate is real. It doesn't matter if you trained at the University of Guyana. It doesn't matter. They don't care. What they care about is they got to make sure they put somebody there where they can guarantee they're getting their cut. One Edgel is still there as minister because Irfan Ali wants him to be there. Indar is still there because Irfan Ali wants him to be there to cover his own ass. Not because the man don't have a second, a third term, it means that we can't do something about it. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. 12 billion just for GWI, Sheikh Bash and the others. 12 billion just to improve the water quality for Guyanese. And so far, just like GPL, just like the money is wasted on GPL, Guyana is still to inherit a clean source of water. Still to inherit. And while I'm on that note, if the Mohammeds got land from the PNC and from the PPP, and the land is there and they're not doing anything with it, it is the government who has to take it up with them. But if they have the paper that was given by a government to occupy that lease land, it's legit. If you want to go and squat on that land, then it's illegal because the government has already given it to somebody. Regardless of the conditions, they got it from the government. The same way this Australian firm got 44,000 acres. 44,000 acres of rich, mineral-rich Guyanese land in the interior. They got it on paper from Irfan Ali. President Irfan Ali gave to an Australian firm the same way the Mohammeds got from the PPP and the PNC, over 83,000 square acres. Well, this Australian firm got 44,000 acres of land to mine. Do whatever they want with it. You think a Guyanese can go squat on that land? No, they'll shoot them. They can't go squat on the land because it's given away. The land in the country that has not been leased to anyone in Region 4, Region 3, whatever region, and Guyanese went and squatted on those land because the records show nobody has it. It's wasted land, and Guyanese needed homes. They say, hey, there's a piece of state land there, I'm going to go build on it. I repeat, it is not leased to anyone. No company, no individual has requested that land, has leased that land. It is not. It is free, empty, available state land. And who is the state? Guyanese are the state. If Guyanese go and squat on that land, they have every right to. Every right to squat on the land. You call it squatting? Let's use the word squat. They go there, they build whatever they can build to provide a shelter for them and their family. They have every fucking right to do it. No government has the right to remove them. No government has the right to remove them. Because the government we have now, this idiotic government we have now, with a lunatic attorney general who thinks he knows the law and can't even fucking read properly. Nandalal, you think you know the law. You were in the opposition and you protested in the parliament. You protested on the road, you and Edgel and all these others, against the Granger government for trying to remove squatters. You protested the Granger government because the Granger government wanted to remove a few squatters from empty land. You said it is wrong. You call them dictatorship. What gives you motherfuckers the right, now that you're in government, to do the same thing and nobody must criticize you? Nobody must call you out for it because you have a long list of excuses. Oh, it is illegal to protest. It is illegal to squat. But you did it. You squatted. And in Mandela, you violently protested. You protest with shoving and rocking and aggressive against, you were terrible protesters. You and Ali and these others. And Kwan Edgel. Edgel couldn't wait for the sun to set to light his light and protest. Dictatorship, dictatorship. There's people speaking. Oh, call elections now. Call elections now. Ranger's a dictator. Yes, Edgel, you ugly monkey-faced bitch. Yes. That's how nasty you, Bishop, was protesting. And suddenly, you are upscale. You're like, I can't drink water from the tap. I need some Chinese water. Well, what is that thing there? I can't go to that shop there. I need some police at the back and the front because I can't drive on that road. Oh, that is not, it hit me. Oh, suddenly, you idiots are like from a different planet. But just a few years ago, you were the ghetto, the underdogs, cussing and fighting and shut up, man. Enough with the theatrics and the pretense. Enough with it. As opposition, you were terrible. And Vice President, I know you're used to power. You came when Chetty took over. Then from that is Janet, and then Janet to you. Then you were how many times president? I know you are used to power. You never had the opportunity to be an opposition leader. So it kind of took you like it was a hard hit. You had to do what you had to do to get back power, even if it means conspiring with one of the PNC members to vote against Granger. That's politics, right? People will do anything for money. But just understand, while you may just have had 5 years in the opposition position or as opposition leader, vice president, you were a thug. You were a gangster, a thug, and the things you said, the things you did, the things you supervised Ali and the others to do, you guys have no merit or authority or permission to criticize nobody for nothing, because you were the worst. So what we do right now is to let the Guyanese understand. If you are on government, I gotta try to fix these terms properly. The government ain't got shit. They're just overseer. They're just stewards for what we have. They ain't got shit. They use the police and the military to beat you up and to jail you because of what? They ain't got shit. If you are on land that nobody has asked for and has been given permission to occupy, stay on that land. If they come to remove you, you have to bring yourselves together. This is why you don't go squatting at 5. If you're going to go and occupy your land, it should be 200-300 people, 500 people. Build houses there, not 5. When it's just 5 persons, they can bully you. They can take some dunderhead police officers, some crackheads, and come and threaten you and beat you up and bulldoze your little houses. You need numbers. And because they managed to separate Guyanese and divide Guyanese, people don't unite for the common good. They're not going to come out and stand with you and say, hey, don't remove these people. Oh, they're black people. Then the Indians would say, well, it's not our problem. These blacks like to squat. Really? Because I heard that too. Black people like to squat. I heard that too. I grew up in the countryside. I remember what I said. Most of my life, I was raised by Indo-Guyanese. Most of my life. That narrative is not true. That blacks like to squat. No, it's not true. Mm-mm. The best squatters are Indo-Guyanese. But you don't fuck with them when they squat. That's the difference. They arm themselves and say, come break it. Come and break it down. So most governments don't fuck with them. The blacks want to run to the courts to fight the state against the state's apparatus. But when the Indians stand together, they don't interfere. The governments don't fuck with them. So Afro-Guyanese, you got to do the same. You have to do the same. Now, I want to bring something to your attention. By the way, I didn't even check on my audio. My audio was good. Please tell me, yeah. Don't cuss me. I'll just state the audio is good, yes or no. Have you gotten my audio well? Yes or no? That's all I want to know. You can cuss later. But give me a thumbs up if the audio was fine so far. Audio is good. I'm looking for a thumbs up. Yeah, let me notice a comment here. Ravi Singh. Yes, fuckface. You want me to read your comment? I'll read it. Ravi Singh says, can you ban the book Prince Ali? Never mind, it's not selling anyway. What a waste of book by an author, a dunce writer. Yeah, Ravi. Aren't you the one who used to speak nice of me in the past? What an intelligent doctor I am. How you admire me. You want to be like me when you grew up. I don't know how old you are, but you used to worship me, Ravi. What happened? Suddenly I'm a dunce. I mean, an author of 8 books, not 8. The first set was 12. 20 books I wrote. 20. Just 8 was a series under a title. But the 8 books are not about Ali. 1 is about Ali. The other 7 is about different sociological, psychological issues and topics that I cover. But I've never come across a dunce author yet. But I get your point. You're upset because you think that I should just blindly suck up under this lunatic of a president, this greedy bastard. Yes, greedy. See, I'm putting my hands out. Greedy. Because nothing from him ever come here. Nothing. And all the service I've offered, especially getting him reelected. So yes, he's a greedy bastard. So Ravi, you didn't buy a book. And all of you who used to praise me in the past for talking nice about Ali and the PPP, you were praising me. I'm the great doctor. You still never bought a book. And you never made a donation to the same Zella account you're cussing right now. You never made a donation. You never bought a book. You never made a donation to the Droga Foundation. So what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? The people who buys the books, they don't like Ali. They never liked Ali, but they bought the book because they read excerpts from it and they realized that this is not about Ali. We're interested in the subject the book speaks of, so they buy the books. But they're PPP supporters. The PPP supporters who buy the book might be 10 or less. The people who sends donations to the Dorga Foundation, they're not PPP supporters. What the fuck you skunks are talking about? PPP supporters don't support my projects. They don't. Even when I was slaving on my platform for the PPP, they never reached out. The people who reached out, they donated to anyone, regardless. They liked what I do. They supported what I do because they would have done it to anybody. It was not because I spoke for the PPP. And I said many times in the past, I never spoke for the PPP. You don't listen good, do you? So Ravi, Singh or whatever, go fuck yourself. And this other fool, this prostitute, what's her name? BB some shit. This BB. Unfortunately, you can't, BB. Unfortunately, you can't get pregnant for me because you've passed that stage. But if you could have gotten pregnant for me, then you could have seen if I was a good baby daddy, like supporting my kids. But you will never know because you passed that stage of getting pregnant. Unless you want to send your daughter or your granddaughter, you never know. Then you can judge based on that. But not shit you're reading on social media. They always want to find something to think they can insult me. I'm a man. How the fuck can you insult a man? Do I look sensitive to you? Yes. Muhammad was telling the truth. Oh, regarding his blackness. Yeah. I'm sad to say. I have to admit myself that I was hurried to condemn the guy. I didn't wait for the evidence. But this is one time, well, not one time. The man spoke the truth about the farm. The man spoke the truth about Ali's brother, a car, whatever car shit. The man spoke the truth about practically everything he said about Ali and the government. He spoke the truth. So we can't say that the man was lying. We can't say that. We know he's corrupt. We know he's a bitch. We know he corrupted people, he bribed people. We know that. We know that. Don't bring it back and say, oh, the opposition leader is talking about Ali's farm. But what about this? Fuck, man, we know. Ali told us about how corrupt the Mohammeds are. Jadgeo told us. Because why? They corrupted Ali and Jadgeo. So they know. So don't bring that, man. It's enough. But we didn't know the depth of your corruption, President. So Muhammad helped us to know that. And yes, Ajruddin, this is what I do with the information. I expound upon it. So since Muhammad was telling the truth about his blackness, here's how I know. Relatives of the Muhammad, I mean the black side of the Muhammads contacted me. I have like 20 voice messages, a long list of text messages. Relatives of the Mohammeds from Barbados, from Canada, from the United States, contacted me, Dr. El Prasad, and said to me, the only thing wrong in what Ajruddin said was that his grandfather was 100% African. What he should have said instead, his grandfather was mixed with African because his great-grandmother, you got the facts wrong, his grandfather's mother is black. Some Harris, something like that. And guess what? It goes deeper than that. She's Bajan from Barbados. Ajruddin's great-grandmother is a Bajan. I mean, was a Bajan. Born and raised in Barbados. Black Bajan. Moved to Guyana when she was 17. Then spent the rest of her life in Guyana, where she met the grandfather's father. And she was mixed, almost 70% black, and she had some Portuguese in her, mixed with black and Portuguese, not Indian. His grandmother, his great grandmother, was not mixed with Indian. She was mixed with black and white, European, mostly black. That's why his grandfather looks like that. The man don't look Indian. He looks like a Portuguese, but he was mixed. I mean, he's mixed. So yes, Ajudin should have gotten the facts a little bit clearer, but he was correct. He would have what you would say 30% African blood in him. 30% African blood, not Afro-Guyanese blood, black Bajan blood, not Guyanese, Bajan, Afro-Bajan blood from his great grandmother, his grandfather's mother. I repeat, the man wasn't lying. He just didn't present the truth in a holistic way. But I got the pictures too. They sent me the pictures just for my eyes. I don't have their permission to share it, but I can tell you, I've seen the pictures of the great grandmother. I've seen it. And the persons who contacted me, two, Barbados and I think it's Canada or the United States. This is why I came back and corrected that. And this is what I do. I'm not going to know that and still come and say, oh, he was lying, the opposition leader, fake black. No, I ain't going to do that. Ali's enemies are not my enemies. The Mohammeds have never done anything to me or Guyana. Ali fucked up Guyana, not the Mohammeds. So if we should have an enemy, it should be Ali and not the Mohammeds. Whatever the Mohammeds did, allegedly, is against the United States, because so far in Guyana, they're not convicted of anything, thanks to Irfan Ali and his government. So I can't take on an enemy that I have not created. So if I have new information to say that the man was telling the truth, I will come and say, hey, the man was telling the truth. The liar here is Ali. So let's stick to the subject matter. And no, Muhammad didn't make an offer yet. His camp did not reach out to me yet. So don't think that I'm smelling the money. I am just impartial. I am fair. And what I'm saying right now, the people who are destroying Guyana, the economics, is Ali and Jadgeo. Those are the people. And the reason why Jadgeo is responsible, because he is sitting back and waiting for Ali's 4 years to be over, then to say, well, that's a burden lifted. No, Jadgeo. Guyanese are suffering while you are sitting and watching and enjoying some of the benefits yourself. You're not getting as you should get, but the point is, you're still enjoying. While the rest of us are starved, underpaid, poor health condition, no electricity. You're killing the local businesses with these massive hotels and these massive investments that Ali is a part of, that his cabinet, just a small group, are a part of, and saying that its Guyana is growing. Where is Guyana growing? Where? You have to build roads. Every country must. Apart from the roads, where else is Guyana growing? The hotels are not yours, Guyanese. The business community is growing because they have access to massive capital, to loans that they can expand their businesses, even though those businesses don't turn a profit. They expanded because they have to justify the oil money they're stealing. To say, hey, I'm making it from this hotel. I am making it from this farm. I am making it from this venture. But the facts on the ground is not the same. So no, Guyana is not growing. A small group of businessmen, they're the ones that are growing. If Guyana was growing, the Guyanese people would be growing. And those Guyanese people would be able to afford to go to those same hotels to book a night or two, to go to those same facilities that we're seeing everywhere, but they can't. They can't afford because why? They don't have the disposable income. The 100,000 cash grant, Ali, that you posted with that woman with the picture, that black woman, you're so fucking, I mean, it's such an insult, man. I called you out before for this shit, you're still doing it. What message are you sending to Afro-Guyanese, Ali? To say that they should take 100,000 cash grant and start a business with that? You are promoting a black woman who don't have a choice than to take her money and buy some plantain and make some plantain chip and plastic that thing and start selling it, and you want to sell that to the rest of the Afro-Guyanese to say, this is a good example of what you can do with 100,000 Ghana dollars? You're fucking disrespectful, Mr. President. I gotta call you for that. You gotta stop this nonsense. Would you take an Indo-Guyanese and do that with them? Would you take an Indo-Guyanese and say, oh, Mr. President, I took the cash grant and I make some egg ball and I started. No, you wouldn't do that. Because the Indians will cuss you out for it. They will cuss you for it. But you're taking these blacks for granted. You got to stop this shit. I'm warning you. You got to stop this shit. You're doing too much of fuck-ups to keep pushing this shit in Guyanese's face. Your brother is a billionaire like you. A lowlife that works in a factory now is a billionaire. You're still doing this shit. Telling Guyanese they need to celebrate cash grant, 100,000 cash grant. We have a long time for 2030. So for now, we got to do what the PPP did in the 5 years of Granger. Protest every day. Protest every day and call for early elections. That's what they did. That's what the PPP did. They're leaders. They protested every day, disrupt the parliament, leaked a lot of stuff, and they called for early elections. Our only way out of this, Guyanese, is to protest every day, disrupt the system, and call for early elections. Otherwise, to that, the next thing you might hear is that the president's two sons owns companies. That's the next you might hear. Or the first lady's sister, her brother, her parents owns companies. That's what you might hear next. And when this is all done, the oil will be out of the ground, no more oil to drill, and Guyanese are still waiting to pay off their loan for their house. They are still waiting for their pension. They are still waiting for that dream to come true. And 90% of the oil wealth is in Ali's pocket, with Jadgeo regretting his choices, and El Nandalal cussing God out because he didn't get a chance to be president. And maybe Mustafa might just as well open the farm himself because he's like, fuck politics. Let me go rear some chicken. and plant some baji and some baigan and ochre. That might be the next move. Float the boat. Jail Jadgeo and Indar so they can share one cell and bugger each other. But at the end of the day, this is it. Enough is enough. Stop the steal. We can't go lower than this, Jadgeo. You go low, Guyana's ambitions will always be high. We deserve better. Better quality drinking water. A reliable source of electricity. You bring solar with no battery. Imagine that, you lunatics. You invest in solar energy and no battery to store the power. So when GPL has no power, even the solar is useless. You see your mistake, Barbicians? Essequibians? Stop the race thing. It ain't working out. Race politics ain't working out. All right? Let's try something else. Share this live. I want to hear from you in the comment section. And you are invited to go to Amazon.com and buy a copy of my book. This one I have, Black Plague. I Come in the Name of Hate. It's a very interesting book. You should buy it and read it. This is Narcissist, The Brung Betrayal. And there are 5 more volumes there for you to choose from. Support the Zello account and the Dorga Foundation. You are the power, the people. And you can make a difference in Guyana's future. So again, share this live. Until next time, I thank you for your attention. Goodbye.